A 14-year-old with no criminal history is now charged in the fatal shooting of a recent IU graduate in downtown Indianapolis. Prosecutors now say last week's fatal shooting inside a parking garage started as a carjacking. Our Ashton Hackman explains the case will start in juvenile court, but prosecutors want the teen tried as an adult.
Prosecutors say the 14-year-old tried to carjack 23-year-old Brett Scroggum as he was heading to an Indians game last Thursday. Officers found Scroggum shot inside a vehicle. He died 2 days later.
We have a family who is grieving and going through just unimaginable pain, and they are looking for comfort and they are looking for justice. And that's where our energy and effort is.
The 14-year-old, who cannot be publicly identified under state law, is charged with murder, felony murder, attempted armed robbery, and dangerous possession of a firearm.
And they worked the last 72 hours trying to shore up everything that they could in the probable cause affidavit. The community coming forward was critical in this case, just like it has been in other cases.
Because this case is starting in juvenile court, a lot of the details remain under seal. Prosecutors tell us that investigators found their suspect using witness statements, security video, and other evidence. And while prosecutors are still fighting to move this case to adult court, it's part of a growing trend. Last fiscal year, 46 juvenile murder cases were filed or waived into adult court, the numbers steadily rising over the last 5 years.
The juvenile system, it's really difficult to get a just outcome. That horizon and timeline in juvenile court is very limited.
Prosecutors will make their case to a judge during a waiver hearing. 3 Marion County juvenile murder cases have already been waived this year. The waiver process can take up to a year.
This should be an alert for all of us that we have to do more, and we have to provide the resources to do more. This is a setback for all of us. It truly is a setback.
A setback leaving a 14-year-old facing murder charges and the family of 23-year-old Brett Scroggum waiting for justice. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Tonight, a woman is under arrest in connection to a deadly triple shooting in downtown Indy. Metro police arrested the 21-year-old in Speedway. The shooting happened almost 2 weeks ago near Meridian and Maryland. IMPD says 32-year-old Gregory Montrez Anderson died in that shooting. Another man and woman were also shot. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office will make final charging decisions in that case. Right now, 2 mayors are coming together to find solutions to address crime in central Indiana. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and Carmel Mayor Sue Finkam released a joint statement announcing a new regional mayors public safety partnership summit. This comes a week after Finkam took to social media to criticize Marion County's justice system, pointing at crime in Indianapolis impacting safety up there in Carmel. Hogsett and Finkam are inviting mayors from cities in 9 central Indiana counties to join them in the summit. The joint statement went on to say, quote, "Crime takes a toll on every community. Individuals who commit crimes often move among jurisdictions, creating challenges that no single community can solve alone. As mayors, we are committed to working together to address this critical issue on behalf of those we serve." After years of speculation, debate, and competing offers, the Chicago Bears have made their intentions clear. The team announced today it's moving forward with plans to bring the franchise to Indiana. The announcement is being celebrated by Indiana leaders who have spent months trying to lure the Bears across that state line. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here with that reaction. Emily.
Well, when asked about the Bears and where they stood with possibly coming to Indiana, Governor Mike Braun said earlier this week that he was anticipating an announcement from the team very soon. That announcement came today with the Bears saying their board of directors voted yesterday to advance their stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana.
Within minutes of the Bears' announcement, Indiana Governor Mike Braun celebrated the moment, saying in a statement, quote, "Hoosiers, help me welcome the Chicago Bears to our great state." Today's announcement comes just a few days after lawmakers in Illinois failed to pass a funding package to incentivize the Bears to stay in Illinois. That move a contrast to what happened this past legislative session in Indiana. Lawmakers here passed legislation with bipartisan support to create the Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority, calling for $1 billion in public subsidies to build a publicly owned stadium in Hammond, Indiana.
Everybody got focused on, making this happen. doing the right thing, supporting an area of our state.
Republican House Speaker Todd Houston applauded the bipartisan effort to get legislation passed, one of the first steps that had to happen to even get to today's announcement.
This isn't about politics, this is about opportunity. And that's what's so exciting to me about it. And it's been an awesome, they've been awesome partners in Northwest Indiana, local elected officials, their constituents. There's just been so much excitement about this. I'm not sure anybody else believed in it, but it's great to get to this day.
And like the bipartisan effort to lure the Bears to Indiana, bipartisan praise poured in after their announcement. Democratic State Representative Earl Harris, who represents the East Chicago region of the state, issued a statement saying in part, quote, "Today is a monumental day for Northwest Indiana. Bringing any professional sports franchise, much less one as revered as the Chicago Bears, will have an enormous impact on the region for generations to come." Harris called the announcement a significant moment for his family. His father, the late Earl Harris Sr., was a champion for bringing the Bears to Northwest Indiana when he served at the State House.
Now, the Bears still owe about $90 million on their lease at their current stadium, Soldier Field. Speaker Houston told me Indiana will not be helping the Bears with that.
Yeah, that's a pretty big bill.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Thank you, Emily.
Okay.
It was a warm Friday, high temperatures today in the mid-80s, and as expected, we're keeping an eye on radar. Just a couple of spotty showers north of Indianapolis, in between Lafayette, Logansport, and Peru. These are not forecast to amount to much. Central Indiana dealing with temperatures now in the low to mid-80s, and most of us look just like this, a mix of sun and clouds as we go into the eastern part of the state in Connersville. It will stay warm this evening, temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Still a passing shower north. Everybody gets a storm chance as we head into the weekend. I'll have the timeline in a few minutes.
The death penalty murder trial for the man charged with killing Elwood police officer Noah Chavez is now delayed until next year. Rich Nye was in the courtroom with the officer's family when the judge rescheduled this trial this afternoon.
Carl Boards is currently ruled incompetent to stand trial. He was not at the hearing Friday. This is video from a previous hearing. The family of Noah Chavez was in the Madison County courtroom. With Boards undergoing treatment at the state mental hospital, Judge Andrew Hopper rescheduled the trial for February 24th next year.
The initial opinion of the doctors in this case when he went to the State Department of Mental Health is that he will be restored to competency within a reasonable period of time. Nothing has changed from that. He just hasn't been restored yet, so we continue to march forward from that.
The parents of Noah Chavez did not want to speak on camera, but they expressed understandable frustration about another lengthy delay to the trial. But they're committed to the process, so that Carl Boards will have no grounds for appeal.
As the Supreme Court of the United States describes death penalty cases, capital cases, as super due process. And there are so many phases to a case like that to make sure that we get it right.
Boards is charged with shooting and killing 24-year-old Noah Chavez during a traffic stop on July 31st, 2022. Investigators say Boards fired 36 shots through the windshield while the officer was still sitting in his police car. In Anderson, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Boards will be back in court on July 10th for an update on the progress to restore his mental competency to stand trial.